This time I'm doing what I want to do with respect to the tariffs. I think we're going to do much better. And just remember the numbers. When you get up to $2 billion a day, $2 billion a day, they're saying, sir, can't be that, can it? I said, yeah, it can. It's the biggest transaction ever made. This is bigger than any deal. You guys, some of you work for companies. Your companies are peanuts. I don't care how big they are. This is the largest transaction in the history of our country. And don't let some of these politicians go around saying, you know, because I'm telling you, these countries are calling us up, kissing my ass. They are dying to make a deal. Please, please, sir, make a deal. I'll do anything. I'll do anything, sir. And then I'll see some rebel Republican, you know, some guy that wants to grandstand, say, I think that Congress should take over negotiations. Let me tell you, you don't negotiate like I negotiate.
Did you see that? Did you?
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, third M's and comrades alike. It's Thursday, welcome to another Brews at 10, here on my left eye. 10 bells is upon us. Hope you're doing well. I'm your host Lefty, and welcome to the stream. Do you have a thirst? Do you have a thirst for news? Do you have a thirst not just for tea and for brews? Do you also have a thirst for goings on regarding politics and society from a left-wing point of view? Andy, thanks for the gifted memberships. It looks like at least one person's received theirs. That's becoming increasingly strange. Thank you very much though, Solidari-Tea. Matilda Pazio, hope you do enjoy those perks. That's interesting. That's another twist. That's another twist in the gifted membership tale, the ongoing saga here on my left eye. Who else do we have in the chat? Let's just have a scroll through. RC Pilot was up a bit late. Well, a YouTuber is never late, RC Pilot, nor is he early. He streams precisely when he means to. Davinia, good to see you as well. Ordinal Father. Stutka Viking Bear President also. Hope I nailed that in one. Do you mind if I call you Stute for the sake of of brevity if I'm referring to anything you say in the chat. You got one. You got one. You were more accurate than Lee Harvey Oswald. Eh? At least one was on target, right? Okay. Please make sure you hit thumbs up on the stream. People will just get warmed up as we wait for more people to arrive. Perhaps Matilda will join us later and just confirm that that's gone through. Keep me posted on that one, especially, please, Andy. So if you've had 4 memberships are refunded, yeah, I'd love if you could let me know. Oh, thanks for your recent suggestions on additions to Volume 2 of the Brews at Tin album. A plug or two of that might be incoming shortly. There's other buttons that you can hit if you've not done so already. The subscribe button, then you can jump in the chat with the Brew crew here on Brews at 10. You can also give us a shout on social media and give us a follow there if you like as well, on Blue Sky, Mastodon and Twitter at MyLeftEye UK. Let's turn the background music down a little. Oh, that's not too overwhelming. Stu, thank you very much for confirming that abbreviation. I'm starting to read the name in a slightly different way. No, still not. That's some name, I won't ask. If you're watching back on replay, you can hit the button in the text box in the comments. Leave us a comment. Lots of buttons to hit, lots of ways to support the channel. And the best way is with a membership. It's just 99p and you get a lot of perks. But there's been some exclusive content this week and early viewings as well. So yes, please do treat yourself to a membership. And I will have to update the goal by just the one, because it appears that only one of those went through. From Andy, thanks again for that, brother. That does take us into the 90s. So 90% of the way towards the target. Thanks again, everybody. Hope you are enjoying the perks. Let me know what you think about the exclusive content and stuff. Feedback's always appreciated. Divinia, yeah, I'd considered those points, but I mean, if only 87 out of over 3,000 subscribers have gifts enabled, I think that's well, or 90 as it is now. I'd say that was somewhat bizarre. Plus, as far as I'm aware, there is no limit. Like, YouTube, like, nah, we're good, you know. This channel's got enough members. There is no cap to members that I'm aware. And well, Stu, if you've only seen the stream so far, check out a few of the recent videos. Let us know what you think. There's members only stuff, there's public stuff, so have at it. You get all the previous streams on there as well. Some are categorised. Well, the PMQs episodes are, I should say. There's a separate playlist for that if you're into your PMQs live streams in particular. And a few other categories, videos and stuff, including Trump and Musk's batshit crazy corner. And that corner gets increasingly crazy every day. But before I go into matters such as that, I'll just bring you good people up on the screen with the chat there. Make a couple of adjustments. Yeah. Alright, there we go. And there's a couple of media interviews with MPs today that I want to brush over as well. That's domestic goings on. An update on that excuse me, ambulance convoy story from Gaza as well. So that's to come later on. And people, at this point in the live stream, I can reveal to you that I do have another new feature on the live stream. Not sure how regular it'll be. I guess you could call this the pilot. Just something I knocked up pretty quickly myself earlier. Well, I had to knock it up quickly to get on the stream with you. But do let me know what you think. I'll be revealing all quite soon. That's come up a few times recently about whether it's because of the particular type of content, what I like to talk about, the topics that we choose to chew the cud over, and so on. Perhaps we're critical of certain individuals, certain classes of society, in terms of wealth and so on and so forth. Perhaps we're critical of capitalism itself on a macro scale. Don't say it too loud. When I do get the upgrade in the gear though, people, will hopefully be simultaneously streaming on Twitch as well. And if you're watching live, there's just one ad at the start when you join us, or there should be anyway. That's what I've put in the settings. So you get to enjoy ad-free if you're watching live. However, if you're watching back on a replay, there will be ads. In fact, you may or may not have just watched one when I said that sentence. I don't know. They stick them in there randomly. I don't do that manually or anything. So, right. What does that bring us up to? I'll just start with a plug, for the other new feature on the channel, which I've been playing this week. Do keep your suggestions coming in for new additions to Volume 2 of something that's hopefully going to turn into a regular feature. So, the Brews at 10 are branching out and released an album. So do enjoy.
Do you like a hot tasty beverage with your music? Then my left eye has got a treat for your ears. The Brews at 10, the album, all your favourite beverage-based hits from the 1960s to now, all in one place. Volume 1 is now available, featuring
Love Me Brew, The Beatles, Virtual Insanity, Jamiroquai, Knowing Tea, Knowing You, ABBA, Tears Don't Fall, Brew It For My Valentine, and The Power of Love by Brewy Lewis and the Brews. Order now.
So keep these suggestions coming in for tracks and artists for Volume 2. There have been some great ones so far. Thanks for those this week since it was launched. I'm going to be doing one of those every week, I think. I might have to extend it to more than 5 examples per vid at this rate because they've been coming in thick and fast, but I guess you can't have too many. And it's a way of being interactive on the channel as well, so. We'll quickly check out the latest in Trump's batshit crazy world before I move on to domestic affairs, and I guess that's where I'll reveal the other new feature as well, because it concerns UK politicians, 1 or 2 of them. All would be revealed, like I said. So I'll just take us over to the screen there. Oh, apologies. Let's cut the background music out for some reason. And we're back. So there's been much gloating from Trump. He's claiming that everybody's gotten rich off this because some markets have raised after they basically hit rock bottom earlier in the week. And he's trying to count this as a win, but the US markets themselves actually opened down today. China now have 145% tariffs, but he does say that there's going to be a pause for about 75 countries. Just quickly over some of the changes. I've already been into depth about the whole concept of these tariffs and everything throughout the week, so I won't repeat myself on that matter. But now that they paused, obviously the base rate is 10%. Nobody is going to be paying less than 10%. That's pretty much a minimum. China on 145%. And they've said that they'll remain steadfast, but Trump's been accused of blinking first, as it were, so this is some staring competition. It's very fucked up staring competition, for my 2 cents. Although this does reveal another layer of lies and hypocrisy where Trump's concerned. All of the talk, we won't back down, all of that. You know, we're getting ripped off. This ends today. Like it's Liberation Day. So how many days did that turn out to be? You know, Is this a pause on his liberation now? He's full of it. He's full of it. So look what we got in the sales. We were at 10% and now we're at 10%. Yeah, so is this just outright and open stock market manipulation and insider trading and so on and so forth, where Trump's concerned? He had a few people up for a press conference for a photo op today and pointing around the room and saying, look how many millions of dollars this guy made and look how many millions of dollars that guy made. Is that because you slipped them some info about what your next statement was going to be? And then prior to it tanking, did you say, hey, now might be a good time to pull out, to be honest, just so you know. Things don't look great for the week to come. Some very open statements that he's said in public are going to be investigated, because that could be seen as basically giving stock advice. You don't really see, you'll see perhaps presidents encouraging nations to buy bonds, especially during times of war, for example, but you won't see them going on, and even Trump doesn't go, well, he says buy Teslas. He doesn't say, buy Tesla stock. But now he's acting as though he's hosting the financial section of the news or something, or one of those other crazy American stock market predictor channels that you see. I don't know if you do actually see them, but if you're aware of their existence. Red F, thanks for joining us. And Jacqueline as well, great to see you. So overall he's trying to count this as a win, and this is what is really making me bang my head against the table, figuratively, fortunately for me. Even if we just go back to the last fortnight and see where we talk about the big national markets, Dow Jones, Nasdaq, Dow Jones, S&P 500, FTSE over here, and then compare a fortnight ago to now, you're going to see that it's still a loss. It's gone up a bit, some have today, but look, Dow Jones average still down 2.5%, Nasdaq Composite 4.31, S&P 5 down, but it's still in the red. It went green for a little bit, just at the right time to make some people some money, who were then paraded in front of the cameras. Look how rich we're all going to be, and that just take a walk around any major city in North America. And the most impoverished and destitute areas basically look like shanty towns, And this is in the richest country in the world, the land of the free and the home of the brave, so they say. Look, this is a great time to buy. You can't say these things when you're a president. In a statement sent to the BBC, White House spokesperson Kush Desai says it's the responsibility of the President of the United States to reassure the markets and Americans about their economic security in the face of non-stop media fear-mongering. Democrats railed against China's cheating for decades, and now they're playing partisan games instead of celebrating Trump's decisive action yesterday to finally corner China, she adds. The White House has also pointed to comments, some going back as far as 1996, in which Democrat lawmakers commented with alarm about China's trade deficit in the United States. All of our food and produce prices are going to go up. That's another one of Trump's favourite words, isn't it? Groceries, groceries, groceries. Tariffs, groceries. Well, he's taken them for mugs, and I guess you have to say there were enough of the population to vote for them. To vote for him, I should say. This will test if China is the dominant power, says John Simpson. He says the Chinese see this as a battle about the future of the world and China versus America. He explains, for 4 years, top Chinese officials have been saying openly that China is the dominant power, and here we have the test. There's no possibility of China backing down. If it does cave into American pressure, then President Xi Jinping will pay the price for it. That's the latest batshit goings on from today. I'll leave that there for now. Just excuse myself for a brief moment. Please do make sure you've hit all those aforementioned buttons while I'm gone. It'll just be a very quick moment, people. Okay, and I'm back. And we've got some new people in the house. Clive, great to see you as always. Hope you're brewing nicely tonight. Back on it. Oh, Odin, if you mean in Andy's membership emoji, next to the name, that's Keir Hardie, who's the founder of the Labour Party. Keir Starmer's namesake. He does try and convince people that he was named after him. Although the policies couldn't be further polarised. So that's the original founder of the Labour Party, founded from unions. Thanks for hitting all the buttons, people. Right, back to UK stuff now. couple of interviews I want to look at. One of them's Liz Kendall, again trying to defend Labour austerity. This was on ITV News earlier. A little bit from that. And they really are lashing out at the unemployed very viscerally. As often as they like to throw out the fact that the Tories did a lot during the 14 years to negatively affect the country, they still don't have any sympathy for people where job losses are concerned, and when there are cuts that affects industries and it affects jobs and there are layoffs. So it is basically, well, you've heard a lot about two-tier sentencing recently. Two-tier sympathy is a thing that's coming in now, because we're supposed to feel sorry for Labour for what they've inherited. We're supposed to be patient with Labour about, you know, this plan for change that's never gonna fucking come, never gonna actually happen. We're supposed to give them, you know, a whole load of slack. But if someone just happens to lose their job because of Tory austerity, then no, how these are what? We need to outcast these people, we need to vilify these people. We need to label them as work shy and try to pervade the unemployed as the biggest scroungers and spongers in society. Don't look at these billionaires, by the way. Just look over here. Look over here instead. There's no theft. There's no wage theft going on over there. Look over here. And that's the rhetoric. This is the message. This is the remit, the clarion call that Liz Kendall wants to re-emphasise on behalf of the current Labour Party. Far, far, far away, as I said, from the original founder Keir Hardie. And it's kind of a strange story overall. Between Keir Hardie was obviously the first leader as the founder, and then Keith's predecessor, the most recent leader before Keith, both being genuine socialists. A lot happened between Keir Hardie's time and now. And yeah, there's, I don't know, perhaps some sort of poetry to that politically. But now it's completely compromised as far as I'm concerned as a party. There definitely would be no way that I would trust that name again. That brand, that name is dead to me. Something I used to stand by quite firmly during the Corbyn years, that is. And then I'm going to segue, hopefully nice and smoothly, into another interview with Nandy, who's an MP here in the Northwest. And then whilst we're on the topic of UK MPs, I'll reveal that new feature on the channel. I'd love your feedback on that as well. A couple of clips first though. Let's go to Kendall. I don't mean go to Kendall, I mean go to Liz Kendall, not go to Liz Kendall. Like Kendall near Lancaster. Whoops.
Do you like a hot tasty beverage with your music? Then my left eye has got a treat for your...
That's another repeating technical problem. I'm reaching for the technical difficulties button. No. Yeah, Liz, Kendall, then Lisa, Nandy. Liz and Lisa. Pair of bullshitters.
Yes, I think they have been stigmatised for the past 14 years. I speak to so many disabled people who are desperate for a chance of work, but they need the right help and support, they need flexible working, they need to make sure that if they've been out of work for a while, they get the skills support they need. We've got to overhaul the system because it's not right for people who are written off and trapped on benefits, and it's not right for the country either.
But once when we met before, and I know you did talk about the many people who wanted to work, you also said some people were taking the mickey, and some people have said to us that language really upset them. Do you regret using that language?
£8 billion a year is wasted on fraud in the benefits system. That's
Wait till you see the amount of tax evasion from the top companies and CEOs, Liz. So she's not going to go back on her previous comments saying that they've taken the mickey, taking the piss, I think she means to say. That's terrible language.
why we've got a fraud bill going through Parliament now. And it is because I don't want to see that money wasted on fraud when it could go on supporting more people like we've seen here today. They deserve a chance, and that's what this government will give them.
So you do think that people are there who are taking the mickey?
There's £8 billion of fraud every single year, and you imagine the difference that money could make to actually helping more people who can work get into work. I think we've got to have trust in the system, and we've got to shift the focus more towards helping those who can work get into work.
If they could work, they would have done so already. They don't need your magical guiding neoliberal hand to bring them back into work. I'm pretty sure that if they'd have, got in touch with the job centre and said that they feel well enough to work, which I'm sure they would, because it's not, again, it's not the same type of freeloading or whatever she wants to put it out there that the billionaires are doing. They freeload on holidays, they freeload on the private jets, on yachts, in seas all around the world and things like this. No, just because they're in receipt of a state benefit doesn't mean that they're having a holiday. A lot of these people are confined to their homes, for example, and have other mobility issues. But Kendall's going to wave the magic wand and make that all go away, people. Just by the grace of her presence, they'll become well again, well enough to work. Well, Clive, I guess we'll never know the truth total of corporate tax avoidance, because obviously a lot of this stuff happens hush-hush. You tend not to find out about most of it. What you do find out is somewhat after the fact as well. But it's certainly shows 8 billion to be the drop in the ocean that it is, really. And that is even if that's a credible figure. That's, potentially Kendall cooking the books, as Labour have done a few times now, especially on stats where the Department for Work and Pensions are concerned. They want to appear that they're giving more back than they actually are. They're putting one thing in people's left hand and taking 3 out the right. So there's no compassion there at all. It's just one rule for them and another for us. But speaking about the super wealthy and scroungers and tax dodgers, there's another section in UK society that we're not specifically touched on when we talk about spongers and scroungers, and that's the royal family. So it's Liz. Oh, I put my teeth in. So it's Lisa, Nandy's turn on the block next. She was on Good Morning Britain, and she's done a bit of a U-turn. If you'll cast your minds back to 2020, when she was involved in the leadership race, which Starmer obviously won and has pretty much turned his back on every policy he mentioned since. During the live TV debate, Lisa Nandy assured viewers that she'd seek to, essentially abolish the monarchy, that she wasn't in favour of us having a monarchy. And now, for a completely ridiculous reason, which I'll let reveal itself in the clip, she's changed her mind. She thinks it's very important that we have a royal family. Flags, flags, flags. Right, let's see what's happening there, people.
Is it a good deal for the British taxpayer to send the King and Queen on a state visit to Italy? Is it value for money?
Sorry to jump in so hastily. I did forget to mention that. Just quickly, if you're not already aware, it's Charlie and Parker Bowles' 20th wedding anniversary this week, and they've been in Italy. Yeah, blah blah blah, handshaking, yada yada, whatnot. So that's the latest. Obviously at our expense, once again. They're having a great time out there. It's been meeting dignitaries and whatnot, the usual ceremonial, farcical bullshit. And it's coming out of our pockets, people.
I think the royal family, and particularly the work that the King has been doing, is one of our greatest soft power levers. We have great influence across the world. We have strong and deep ties, emotional ties with people all over the world.
Have you changed your tune then from the 2020 leadership race?
Just before the hypocrisy, the reason that she was giving there, he is not supposed to have any hands on the levers of power. The way it's supposed to officially work is that although it's known as His Majesty's government, that he has no influence over it, that it's completely independent from himself. What would he specifically, as an individual, be able to do to, or is it just to sort of remind people that we used to be an empire? Is that what you mean? Is that what you mean? Because when people think of kings and queens, they think of these great armies and empires and whatnot that have come and gone. Not just the British Empire, but many empires. Every empire, most empires are former empires, and they all thought they'd last forever. Name as many as you like. The Romans, the Ottomans, the Mongols, the Macedonians, the Americans. They all fade and they all go. So is that the only thing? It's a optics thing, it's a visual thing. Is that what Lisa Nandy's trying to say? That it's important? Because if it is, then she's deluded, because there's no way that if a country happened to be choosing to act against us, that the leaders would be sat around a table. But But sir, they have a king. And they'll be like, oh yes, I forgot that they've got a king. They've got a king. Well, we better leave off then for now. I've seen Lord of the Rings. I know what happens. I don't want the ghost army coming chasing after me. Well, like, okay.
Where you said that you would vote to scrap the monarchy. In a Channel 4 TV debate, you said, I am a Democrat, so I would vote to scrap it.
I have actually, yeah. And the reason that I've done that is because certainly since we're in government, but even before, I've had the opportunity to partner with members of the royal family, whether it's on dealing with the crisis facing the younger generation, issues like knife crime and others that the King's Trust is working very closely with us to try and tackle, or whether it's the Soft Power Council that David Lammy and I have set up.
These trusts and whatnot and la la la, they're tax dodges, and again, they're for optics. But you don't see kids walking around the most violent areas of London where there are so many stabbings going on, or other cities in the UK. You know, good on King Charlie, keeping us safe. That's, you know, it's bullshit, and again, it's just for show. And it's the same with environment stuff. Do you remember in the not too distant past, I brought it up on the channel, he went to the food bank in his private helicopter, went to do the photo swap at the food bank in the private helicopter. He'd go with an entourage of Land Rovers to give an environmental speech as well. So it's all for one's security, isn't it? So, got the bullshit, Nandy, quid quo pro. Basically, you said those things during the leadership election because they thought they'd get you elected to become leader of the Labour Party. You're saying the things that you're saying now because not only was Keir Starmer obviously on the right the whole time, an establishment the whole time, he's moved further and further to the right ever since they came into power last July. And you're trying to steal votes from Remain. It looks like you're going to be massively down in terms of seats, according to the polls. Reform, unfortunately, are sweeping up. You and the Tories are trying to outflank each other on the right to try and win those votes back, and that's why you're firmly sticking with the establishment flags, kings and queens, bowing, and all that bullshit. That's pretty much, that's it. That's the untold truth.
Where we've been able to work with members of the royal family in order to extend our influence abroad and help secure great benefits for Britain. We recently announced the tour.
Whoa. Work with. Now, when I explained about the separation between the Crown and the state earlier, I said in theory, obviously in practice, this isn't true. In fact, there have been hundreds, technically he's not supposed to have any influence in the lawmaking. He's specifically signed off very many that we know about, and probably potentially a great many more that we don't know about as well. So when she says working with, in what way? To what extent? What is the point of us electing MPs, having a Prime Minister, if then we're back to it coming down to the decision of one person, a sovereign?
of France alongside the Duchess of Edinburgh in Edinburgh. It's a great boost for Britain. And yes, I have changed my mind about that. I think in principle, I believe that people...
Yet I was outside earlier, Lisa, and I saw all of the homeless people jumping for joy. They were just jumping for joy. They forgot how hungry they were. They forgot, you know, how they've not had a drink of water. They've been outside in the heat all day. And that's when they're not freezing to death in shop doorways. They're ecstatic, Lisa. They're delighted. They are elated. In fact, I think I can hear them now. I think I can hear them now still outside. What's that? This shout, praise be to the king. Yeah. Come on, get real, Lisa. It's going to be a real boost for Britain.
should have the power to decide who rules them, but I think the monarchy under the Queen and under this current King commands strong public support. And I think right now, if you look at the turmoil...
All right, let's abolish Parliament then. You're sacked. We'll have our 90k a year back. Thank you very much, Lisa. Off you fuck. Let's just abolish the whole thing. All right? I mean, this is the 21st century, man. This is the 21st century. But yeah, I respect people's right to be represented and whatnot. But you know, but bollocks to it. There's no ifs and buts to people's right to be represented. That's not. There's no ifs or buts to that whatsoever, Lisa.
Going on in the world, then we do need a royal family who are able to help us.
Oh, it's got because of what's going on in the world. Yeah. The sound of the homeless outside is being drowned out by something. Lisa, I'll just see if I can make that out. It's a very peculiar sound. I don't know how best to describe it. What could that be? Ah, yes, of course, people. It's the sound of Putin shitting his pants so loud I can hear it from thousands of fucking miles away. Yeah, you know. Get real. Yes, technically, they're in charge of our armies, our armed forces, in fact. But again, it's the state that actually is supposed to give the orders. You know, that's down to the Prime Minister and Defence Minister to decide what's going to happen. What do you think? He's like Richard III, the last monarch to die in battle. So maybe you want to go back to those days. Wouldn't advise it. He does have a severe medical condition at the moment, of course. He's a septuagenarian. And I dare say I wouldn't fancy his chances in a real battle if it did ever come to that, Lisa. So maybe let's just try and stick with the good old-fashioned one person, one vote, eh? What do you say? What do you say? Lisa Nandy is an MP in Wigan, which is not too far away from where my left eye comes to you from. Where local history is concerned, actually, just very quickly, one final point. There's a locally sort of famous historical incident that involved the beheading of a member of the royal family. and there was a fight between Wigan and neighbouring towns like Bolton. Many hundreds of years ago, we're talking about. No, this was last Tuesday, outside a pie shop. But at the time, this was a civil war, as it were, royalists versus anti-royalists, and Wigan just happened to be on the side of the royals on that occasion. In the end, one of the fellow royalists was beheaded, but I won't go into the historic details about that sort of thing. Maybe she's trying to impress the Wiganers. I don't know. No, it's just, I don't know how I remembered that.
To deliver the benefits to Britain. So I'm not afraid to say when I change my mind, and I have changed my mind about that.
Appreciate.
So that was, she just had to sneak in the old deliver the like they always do. But she's not ashamed about changing her mind. It's just pretty much, I know that I'm more or less safe if I just go with the establishment for the next 4 years. So go fuck yourselves, you know. Quite interesting as well. Didn't actually hear a peep from him, but this was another now quasi-bizarre moment. I think it's just right at the start. We can... there we go, there's the shot I was looking for. Obviously, the co-host there, who was particularly silent, on the left of the screen is Ed Balls. So Balls and Nandy, both members of the Labour Party, of course. Balls, former MP himself. I wonder where he stands on that. He's just trying to look pensive and insightful in his silence as well. You might have observed. Oh, that's I'm not doing the voice. There'll be more of that to come in just a moment. Spoiler alert. So it is now former MPs sort of interviewing current MPs. And when we talk about what will happen to them, perhaps what might happen to Wes Streeting when he's voted out. Check out my last video about that, and to wait for some upcoming new content as well about that situation. But will Wes Streeting perhaps be hosting a TV show? Could Lisa Nandy herself, in 4 and a bit years, find herself the head of a telecoms company, or perhaps a cushy seat in the House of Lords? 400 quid a day for doing the square root of fuck all. Get out the taxi, go in the building, bish bash bosh, 400 quid, back to the multi-million-pound house. That's one of the houses, by the way. We winter in Australia and we summer in Europe. So give me your thoughts about that one in the chat, people. I hope that chat's been running smooth. Apologies, I almost got lost on a bit of a tangent there. Yeah, amber alerts and things like that. Looks like the chat's coming through all right. Balls to that. That's a good one. Yeah, lots of bandwagoning going on, like you're saying. I'll just bring up the background music. I thought it was a bit quiet there. Do any of the Labour cabinet know the meaning of the word principle? Well, actually mentioned on a tweet or a Blue Sky post earlier. I posted on a few today. Which one was it? That'll come to me as I'm explaining this. But I was just reminded about the old quote, the old comedy quote about politicians. Vote for me, I have principles, and if you don't like them, I've got others. Lisa Nandy. And actually, yeah, while I'm on that topic, something else that had crossed my mind recently, and I'm going to go into quite a lot of detail about this, people, if you'll forgive me. No, don't do the... Oh. So another thing.
We apologise for the interruption of this broadcast while Lefty goes off on a tangent. He's been given a cup of tea and will be back with you shortly. In the meantime, make sure you've hit the thumbs up button and left a comment down below. Thank you for your patience.
Which is why I think that particular pie shop is overrated anyway. So where were we, people? Well, I've got something new for you. I put this together earlier. Just let me know what you think, people. New feature on the channel, new interview section. Speaking of MPs interviewing other MPs, I'm very proud to present the pilots of the Pat McFadden Experience, which is a really exciting and hard-hitting new interview show just released today, so check it out, people.
And now on the Brews at 10, it's time for the Pat McFadden Experience. Please welcome the Right Honourable Chancellor of the Duchy of Lancaster and soul of the party, Pat McFadden.
This week's guest is Health Secretary Wes Streeting.
Hello there, everyone, and welcome to the Pat McFadden Experience with me, Pat McFadden. If you like a fast-paced interview with heaps of enthusiasm, then you're in the right place. Sorry for shouting there, I got a wee bit overexcited. This week's guest is Health Secretary and MP for Ilford North, for now at least, Wes Streeting. Wes, welcome to the show. Hi Pat, thanks for having me on. It's great to be here. Now, there's been a bit of a stir recently with a poll that came out that shows you getting the shite kicked out of you by independent candidate Liam Mohammed. Is that something you're worried about? No, it's not something to worry about. I'm sure that when Labour deliver our plan for change, that I'll bounce back in the polls. Are you sure that the same 3 or 4 sentences that we use in every interview are going to be enough? Or could we be looking at losing our majority at the next general election? Yes, Pat, absolutely. The £22 billion black hole that Tories left us with is a perfect excuse that we'll use as a shield every time. Plus, I've done a deal with Lindsay Hoyle that every time the NHS gets mentioned in PMQs, that the camera does a little cutaway to me, so I think that will do the trick. So, you don't feel out of touch with the public at all, or staff in the NHS? No, Pat, absolutely not. In fact, just the other day, I was talking to a nurse after I'd stolen her parking space outside the hospital for a photo op. She was pretty far away, but I think she said she'd voted for me twice because she was waving 2 fingers at me the whole time. Really nice lady. That's a great story, Wes. So, next I want to move on to your plans for... what's going on here, Pat? Oh, hi there, Angela. I was just interviewing Wesley here. You were supposed to be interviewing me. You promised me. What's all this about? No, I didn't promise you that. Yeah, you did. When we was in the bar at the House of Commons. No, you asked me and then you passed out before I could say no, and you'd had about 15 double vodka lemonades.
So what? I was enjoying my weekend, alright.
It was 4:10 in the afternoon on a Wednesday.
I'd had a long day. You try sitting there for half an hour with Keir Starmer's arse in front of your face at PMQs and see how you like it.
Sorry guys, are we still carrying on with the interview or... Shut up, Wesley.
Shut up, Wesley.
Shut up, Wesley.
The Pat McFadden experience. There, that was the pilot. I'd love to know your thoughts. Yeah, just threw that together earlier. Not the greatest production values, obviously, but yeah. No, I don't think in real life Pat would ask such insightful questions. I don't know about 30-minute episodes, Clive. Perhaps little, I'll have to figure out how long and how often those can happen. Just like I said, throw it together. Glad you enjoyed it anyway. See, as the channel grows, more features, more perks for memberships. Good to see the community growing as well. It took me a long time through their respective agents to track them down and actually get them to do the interview, the three of them. They didn't want to be on the camera. Can't think of something, Lefty. There's a rash going around. Oh, it's nasty. It's going around the House of Commons like wildfire, people. The news, that's it. The news are suppressing it though, because they all caught it from Elon Musk. Yeah, that's it. Take care, Super. See you soon. What else have we got, people? Oh God. Some potentially dark humour coming up. Let's not get our stories crossed. Just before I did come onto the live stream, there was oh, this is going to sound so bad. I'm not laughing at what I'm about to talk about first, but then I'm going to go on to something, and I've just opened the article for it, and that's what's making me laugh. I'm not laughing at what I'm about to tell you or remind you about, which is I'm available for auditions for a mainstream media broadcast, by the way. If anyone is actually listening, I can do all the non-regional accents and everything. Just contact my left eye, uk@gmail.com. Ask for Phil, our producer. He is a mute, but he can type like a wizard. I'm not too sure if any actual wizards would be able to operate modern computer technology. It's not really in the law, but you know what I'm getting at. So the stories, people. This is a serious channel, by the way, about politics and society from a left-wing point of view. You might have heard about this awful story. The time I came onto the stream, one person had been killed in a helicopter crash in the Hudson River, which how long ago was that? Maybe 20 years ago, 15-20 years ago, there was that famous incident with the emergency landing, and its name is the title of the film, is the pilot, it's not coming to me, sorry, Tom Hanks played him in the film about it, and it was, his name was the title of the film. I'm sure I've seen that. So the Hudson, yeah, another crash, this time, unfortunately fatal. But just want to go on to another story. I'm going to try and keep things light-hearted. That is a developing story, obviously. It's serious. I'm not making light of that, but it just seems it's a bit of a coincidence. I'm not talking about tin hat stuff, any conspiracy theories or anything. But the United States had a series of aviation incidents recently. That's another matter entirely, but in South Africa, people. Now, forgive me, like I said, don't want to get headlines mixed up. When this headline you're about to see came up, I couldn't help myself. It's not every day that you read a headline like this, people. But check this out. Sorry, I'm just making sure all the settings are right. Back over to the screen. And this is so good. Unsecured penguin caused helicopter crash in South Africa. Unsecured penguin. He's loose. Holy shit, he's loose. Unsecured. This is my favourite headline of the year so far, people. This is shortly after takeoff, the box containing the penguin knocked the controls, which caused the pilot to lose control of the aircraft. The penguin. The South African Civil Aviation Authority said the impact of the helicopter crashing to the ground, no one on board, including the penguin, was hurt. Yes, they're all okay. So it's okay to have a laugh about it, you see. The penguin's fine as well. That was the first thing I wondered about. Oh, the penguin's okay. Oh, fuck the human beings. Poor penguin. The report did not say why they'd picked up the penguin. Just, you know, sometimes you got a penguin in your helicopter, sometimes you don't. That's a helicopter pilot's life, and that's private, you know. You stay out of that. It's pilot's business. When the helicopter was about 50 feet above... Serious now. When the helicopter was about 50 feet above the ground, the cardboard slid off the lap of the specialist... Oh, sorry. They had a specialist on board as well. I'll do it seriously. It slid off the lap of the specialist to the right and caused a cyclic pitch control lever to move to the far right position, causing the aircraft roll, the report determined. I thought they were going to say the Penguin was armed, pointed the gun at the pilot and said, this plane is going to, this helicopter, we're going to Libya now. And then they pointed out that we're in South Africa, we don't have enough fuel to get to Libya. While the helicopter sustained substantial damage, yeah. Look at the picture. Oh yeah, that's pretty fucked up helicopter there. No. That's going to take at least half an hour to fix. The absence of a proper secured crate meant that the Penguin's containment was not suitable for the flight conditions, it said. So now they're going to have to start putting warning labels on certain boxes. Warning, this box is insufficient for penguin carriage. Airport cargo staff go, where are the penguin stickers? We've run out of the penguin stickers. An unsecured penguin. There's so many things just before I even knew anything about it, just reading that headline after I'd been laughing for about 2 minutes straight. And then I wanted to read the headline to check that the Penguin was okay. I guess I have to make it relevant to the channel at this point. It's unknown what the Penguin's political leanings were. It's understood he was a Leninist Marxist. Reminds me of a funny bit as well. Do you remember when they started to put new, more descriptive warnings for films in the trailers, you know, little footnotes, asterisks, whatnot, and on the back of Blu-rays and stuff like that. And some of them are, frankly, pretty funny. One of the first ones that I saw was on the back of a, I think it was on, whatever it was to do with the March of the Penguins. Could have been a Blu-ray. But the warning was that it contains scenes of mild peril. Let's just picturing what mild peril the Penguins could be in. And just think, you know, the wording of that. Warning contains scenes of mild peril. This documentary featuring nothing but penguins. But that was an example of mild peril, or perhaps more than mild, today. So, that's the story. Unsecured penguin caused helicopter crash in South Africa. That's the happiest I've been talking about the news for some time, people. There have been minor wins recently, of course. West Street looks set to lose his seat. Tesla's stock taking a dive. So on and so forth. But this, you know, it's just a harmless laugh. There'll be public information videos now. The old Pathé public announcement videos. Keep your penguin safe and secure. A 10-part guide. That's right, Andy, as well as its political orientation. We're not aware of the Penguins' preference to tea, or perhaps other hot tasty beverage. Perhaps they don't like them at all. I do love nature. I can't extend my knowledge as far as to tell you whether a penguin would like a tea or how they would take it. Right, people, that just about wraps it up. But do stay in your seats. I smell a raid. I don't mean the police are here, don't worry. I'm just going to see who's live. And as I do so, of course, thank all of the members again on the channel. Thanks for the gifted membership as well this evening, so 90 out of 100. We're getting there, people. I do appreciate all of your efforts. We've got a choice of 3. But I'm very biased towards one of them. So we've got the Vanguard, who are live, also No Justice, and also Kevin Logan are coming up. There's an upcoming Navarra as well, but I'm going to rule that one out. I don't think the Vanguard need any particular help at the moment. In fact, the last time we streamed into them, I believe they were celebrating getting more views than the Young Turks, which is a fantastic achievement. Well done to them, but hope they'll understand that we're going to support some of the lesser known channels, and seeing as we raided into No Justice last time, going to try and spread the love and solidarity evenly and go into Kevin Logan. Is everybody down with that? Let me know. The chat will be back up in, well, just one moment right now. Okay, looks like we've got a couple of shouts for Kev. I think that's a good choice. I concur. And I've got the buttons. Andy, thanks for trying another gifted membership. It must have been when you went to make the 5 earlier, the big red phone went off in the office and this Andy Carter's trying to buy memberships again. It's got to be stopped. I don't know what that voice was. Or who it represents. Thanks nonetheless, though. Same to those of you. There's been quite a few of you this week, unfortunately. We would be way over 100 by now, wouldn't we, if it wasn't for this thing. So if you're listening, that is, if YouTube are listening, please do something about it. Okay, people, no comedy clip. I've already done the Brews at 10, the album. Keep your suggestions coming in for that. I'm not going to play that again. Don't want to overdo it. So all that remains is to thank everybody for watching on tonight's stream. Please do join me over at Kevin Logan's channel. Make sure you've hit thumbs up here before you do so, and make sure you hit thumbs up when you get over there. Take care, everybody. My Left, I'll be seeing you soon. Solidarity, Free Palestine, and power to the people.